Are we having fun yet? Well, why not? Got a kind of serious journal. Got to lighten it up a little. Besides, people, it's just a body. It's not me. Hi, this ain't me. Okay, this is from, I'm going back a ways now. This is from May 9th, 2010. The first one of that day. The Mayan day was 9 night or house. It's another in the O series, the observation series, exercises in vision. It's called ET attack and DisIdentifying. I feel better in the body today. The last day or two has been most uncomfortable. I felt the intrusion, the manipulation by ETs or beings with negative intent. I won't postulate why. That would just be the mind trying to figure things out. I will say it appears that they've got my cat, Purrsilla, though. The one that came back to me has been messed with. Now I'm going to step out of the journal here. My Purrsilla has crossed over. This was written while she was still sick before I took her to the vet. And she was there about 5 days and then she died. Okay, I will say it appears that they've got my cat, Purrsilla, though. The one that came back to me has been messed with. She has none, no, not one of her old behaviors. Thus, it's quite possible they've exited her entirely and in their arrogance thought they could imitate her sufficiently to get by with the replacement. I don't know. Oh well, time shall tell. The light is sufficient and superior to any such nonsense, especially these days of the end of time, of the shortening of days for the elect, of the oncoming new age, whatever you call them. In these days, all things based on dark or negative intent are doomed to fail. You can see it happening all around us, right from the fall of the Berlin Wall, the collapse of Soviet communism, the jailing of the Enron gang, of all of their horses and their men unable to put Humpty back together again. Poor dears. But let's not waste any energy on sympathy, for it's a negative vibe. Empathy's the thing, for with empathy is the actual entering into the oneness there, the sharing of the one experience. Sympathy, on the other hand, is a dark and weakening use of energy. It serves and supports no one, neither the supposed sufferer nor the sympathetic one. But moving on, what is new about today? Well, I, for one, am out from under an intense energy and manipulation I couldn't seem to shake yesterday. Looks like I was busy overnight. I love that one, the two full lives we lead, the one in the body, the other in the astral, the etheric form. Most interesting that, in a way, we're all bipolar, ho-ho, especially those who don't have good dream recall or who don't lucid dream. That would be me, pretty much. Life's a hoot. The more we realize that its magnificence and deep import is unknown to us, the more we come to know of it. The I don't know presents the proverbial empty cup to the light. It means we're open to be filled, to contain new and or higher understanding. It's a signal I love to bring and to offer to light. I don't know. Great little phrase. It's hell on the ego, of course. Well, so what? Have you got a problem with that? Well, then, my dears, guess who has that problem? Can you see it's the ego with the problem? Another way to say it is that it's the mental mind. Your heart has no ego at all. Identity, yes. Ego, no. Your heart never gets offended over things. To take offense is to make a judgment. Heart doesn't do that. That's an arrogant thing, really, but we're so used to doing it. We've been so trained and coached by society in such ways of being and behaving that we take it for natural behavior. Well, it's not. Natural is nature, and your nature's to be found in your heart. Nowhere else. You're not mind, you're not ego, you're not thoughts and beliefs. That's what you do, that's not you. So this is a call then to take a new look at how maybe you identify with those things. Come on, we all do. Okay then, consider. If you can take a new look, if you can step back and do that, then who is looking? What is that? Who is that? Is that not you? Now, further consider. If you stepped back to look at those things, then for those moments you were no longer identified with them. You disidentified. Do you see that? This is some of the power, the so-called hidden power of observing. It has the power to change you based on your will and intent. You're in charge. Set intent, then step back and just watch things begin. You've a power to change things hidden deeply in heart. But the access is easy, so get a new start. Have a look at your life then. Take a peek deep inside. Now determine what things you would change. Set your will to do that. Just determine, set intent, set it any way you like. Then step back and observe. And you'll marvel, delight, never knew you could do anything like what happens to you. Oh, my dear friends, I highly recommend accepting the gift of the little birdie offered in an earlier journal. Links in this transcript. Actually, any way you choose to do it, to just step back a few paces and begin your program of observing is great. It doesn't have to be mine. It's better to be yours, really. But if you'd like my suggestion, then here it is. Take a two-pronged approach to this. The first is to continually place your attention whenever it wanders in the center of your chest, in what I call heart space. Just that, nothing fancy. You can still act and function from there quite well. Just focus your attention there. Yes, I know it's a challenge initially, but it's no different than developing any other habit, and it pays off in big ways. Word to the wise should be sufficient here. The second prong, of course, is to begin observing yourself. Put that little bird on your shoulder or do whatever you do to accomplish this. Now, there are some rules that go with this observing, this watching of self.